Hey, what's up everyone? This is Oloa Martinez. For those of you that don't know who I am, I'm from Oglala, Lakota territory, also known as POW 344. I'm here at the border of so-called South Dakota and so-called Nebraska. Today is April 30th, the last day that alcohol sales were allowed here in Whiteclay, Nebraska. But from what we understand is the sheriff came by and told the bars to close this morning because it's Sunday. Sorry, but that's 135 years too late. You should have been, as God-fearing, such religious people, maybe you should have been practicing that since the get-go. Anyway, I say it's a little too late for that route. So there's a press conference happening right now in front of Punk Ass Shorting's store known as Arrowhead Inn. They're there now doing the press conference. We have Frank Lemire from Nebraska side, also the attorney who stepped up and was also in attendance in Nebraska for these things. Some of the Lakota, the Oglalas that you have down there, we have like Brian Brewer, Tui Deborah White Plume, Sunny Skyhawk. We also have our homies from Alcohol Justice here, and who've always supported the direct action that took place in Whiteclay. Right now, I'm getting texts in from those there that are providing security for our relatives in Whiteclay that there are Oglalas going by angry, hollering profanities, fingering our elders. To me, pisses me off a little because my Aunt Debbie's over there and you finger my Aunt Debbie, the nerve. Anyway, of course, there's angry alcoholics everywhere. Okay, hold up. We got someone calling up. Walking up. What up?
Wheel?
Oh, not too much. They just went up there. Give me They went up there to go do the press conference. So you should try to go up there and talk.
I did. I interviewed already at 2 o'clock.
Oh,
earlier.
okay.
I just told him, like, today's my grandpa. I said he was the Oglala Sioux tribe.
I keep going. He's just another bucket Indian.
The Oglala Sioux tribe. And I just told him basically that, he fought for his people and stuff,
Yes.
So I said, that's why I'm here, I just want to...
So we have Frank Lemire down there. We have the attorney that was helping in all this. He's down there. And there's a lot of media outlets from Nebraska that are down there right now.
KMTV is the one that I interviewed with, so...
Yeah, so we got Aunt Debbie down there too. That's why we got a security down there. I don't just trying to keep but I just got a text saying that there's angry relatives going by cussing, profanities, flipping people off.
Well, we're gonna get that,
Yeah, but that
I've been seeing a lot of people saying they're going to Rushville, but it's just further they have to travel,
Yeah, and as responsible drinking adults, that should be an easy part, being responsible and having to drive a little bit further for your drink if you absolutely have to have it. Just that's all a part of being a responsible drinking adult. And really, if you want to be so responsible about it, don't even come back here till you're done, because it's illegal to have that poison on our homelands. That's all we're asking. We reached out also to a couple of communities right along the borders to see if they would support, and I hate to say loafers camp, but a drinking camp, so where you can all go and spend the whole weekend there. Have campfires, camping areas, even playgrounds for your kids, because you should take them with you and example responsible drinking, since, that's a big concern to a lot of people. For us, it was the messaging for those kids sitting in the back seat of those cars as they're going into Whiteclay. Alcohol is the enemy. Alcohol is the motherfucking enemy. So we have a lot of cars gathering down there. More than what was there before. It's killing me that I can't go over there. Fuck. Anyway, this is Vanessa Red Cloud, granddaughter to Oliver Red Cloud, and he always supported everything we did up here because he himself, as an elder before he passed, he always talked to us about how it wasn't the Lakota way, and how it only provided a stronger outlet for people to forget the Lakota way of life. So I'm just glad Sister's here, and that she went down there and shared words too on his behalf, because during the direct actions that we took here, there were so many speaking against it, but Grandpa Oliver encouraged us. He encouraged us, and I remember one time he even told us that they have to remember that they also taught us violence. We ain't out here trying to be violent towards our own people, but we can defend ourselves.
Right on.
So I'm going live from the border because I can't go in there.
Okay. Well, we just came up here to spectate and, witness the...
Yes, this is history, Ogalalas.
Yeah. I have pictures I'll be posting later, but...
Nice.
The Wi-Fi's down, so...
Uh-huh.
As soon as I get it, then we're gonna go. But yeah, I'm gonna probably go back and get some reinforcement here.
All right, well, I'll be here.
Okay, I'll be back.
All right, we'll see you. There everyone is down there in front of Arrowhead. But so I think I want to say a little bit more about so people are asking, I hope those that got Whiteclay shut down are going to feed and clothe them now. But we need to back up a minute here. I know goddamn well that Jason Shorting, all of them, that they are not feeding and clothing our relatives on a daily basis. That is bullshit if you believe that. If you think that's happening, that every day they're feeding our relatives, no way. Come on now, open your eyes. That's not what this is about. Whiteclay is about money. They don't even care that we're dying drunk daily, whether it's from cirrhosis, alcohol-induced diabetes, alcohol-induced everything, so all their concern is that dollar bill. I read the statements from Stewart's daughter. I read all the statements and comments you all have saying they're such good humans. That's fine. But I remember 2-3 years ago, we asked your human friends if they would change their business type. Open up a laundromat. Open up a skating rink for our kids. A movie theater, something. Anything but alcohol. But what's fast is this alcoholic dollar. So it's not about us providing for our relatives on the streets. It's about all of us taking responsibility for our own relatives. That's something that boarding school came and took away from us, was the Tioshpai mentality. It's all about individualism. I, me. What happened to the us and we? So the only one responsible for relatives on the streets up here in Whiteclay are their own relatives. If you love your relatives so much, take them home. Involuntary commitment them. Do something. Don't just get mad and stay in denial and blame everyone else. So I heard an older gentleman that I do respect his words, because I do see him actively speaking for the people, but fat taker mentality is still there, because the only thing that fuels some of the talk is money. This ain't about money. This is not about money. For me, I think about my bloodline that survived near genocide. And by near genocide, I say the massacres, the poisoning, all this stuff. We survived near genocide. I want my bloodline to continue. When I'm dead and gone, I am scared. Who's going to be backing up our kids? Who's going to be backing up my grandkids when I'm dead and gone against poisons of people and anything that profits over the people. I think we should all be thinking that. All my peers, all you ones who happily drink and you're responsible, hey, I'm happy you could do that. Because me, I couldn't do that. I was a raging mess. And I don't know. You just have to, I don't know. I can't tell you you have to do anything. But all I could say is find your inner Lakota. The one that is so proud of the fact that you come from the fiercest warrior nation on this continent. See, I know that, and I refuse to let my nation go out like that. I don't want us to go out like that. Come on now, decolonize your mind. And even that, those words are turning people against what we're trying to say. Decolonization, just think of it as another way of saying, bring back the way. Try to find that Lakota mentality within yourself that's so proud that you made it this far. I don't know what else to say. Midakiapi is just, the Tioshpai mentality does need to come back. Just because your relative doesn't live in your home does not mean they're not your responsibility. I love my relatives so much. Even the ones that are so against what I'm doing in just speaking. Open your eyes. This ain't even have nothing to do with about you at all. It's about your kids' grandkids. So I'm a new grandma. I got 3 grandchildren, 3 grandsons. And so when someone calls me a kid or something like that, you young ones, I have to say, no, wait. I'm not a kid. I'm a young grandparent. And that, to me, that gives me a strong standing in who I am today and what I have to say and things I have to do. Because, again, if we don't stand up and change things for the better now, there's never going to be a governmental program that's going to come in here and save us. So just having a respect of diversity of tactics for everything. Whiteclay should be a shining example that the diversity of tactics can be successful. It was attacked from all sides, every single direction. It was looked at and attacked. So here we have, some say, to me, I will honestly say that the money, the dollar signs and the money amount, it's too big. Nebraska is not going to want to give up that money. Specifically Sheridan County, that's a lot of money. They're not going to want to give it up. So we'll see if fat taker mentality, greed, overrides and overpowers to what some Nebraskans are trying to show, is that they're not all evil, Indian hating white people. I don't know how else to say it. Anyway, just kind of rambling on, but a lot of people were asking me for a statement, a comment. I just want us to move beyond this. Once we acknowledge that this is an issue, we can get past it. And jobs are not the answer. If there were 100 jobs that were opened up tomorrow for the Oyate, that's 100 more people traveling to get alcohol. And so I heard someone say, oh, if we all get jobs, we'll be too busy to drink. Yeah, maybe till Friday when you get off of work and you're drunk all weekend till Sunday night or Monday morning. And I just have to say, for the ones that work in schools and drink, don't go to school hanging over, please. It's bad enough that some of our kids have to deal with this alcoholism and all the sicknesses at home with alcohol, that they shouldn't have to be smelling your alcoholic hangover breath in school. For real though. I'm thinking the press conference is going really well because everyone's still down there. Let's check it out. Like I said, I got text saying that there were people going by hollering profanities, flipping the bird. You know, how responsible, what a responsible adult you are. But it just really reflects your upbringing. It does, for real, because who does that shit anyway? So not too much going on. There were still relatives hanging out on side of the buildings. Some of the ones, the one that was closer to the res line over here, he was pretty upset when people started to walk in. I don't know. They're just, I, I just don't know what to say to some of this stuff, for real. You know, like, I love you, Madakiopi. That's all I could say is I love you, and I love your children and your unborn grandchildren, because those are the ones that this is being done for. It ain't even you. So those that are getting taking things personal, lashing out, targeting. You know, I've taken arrows for this work for years. Believe me, arrows ain't shit. So I probably look like a porcupine right now from all the arrows I've taken over Whiteclay, Red Warrior Camp, and just being a strong, standing Ogallala. You know, it is what it is, and I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. You see cars pulling up, stopping. So I saw a post done by the owner of the first bar saying, "Oh, don't worry, we'll be back." You know, to me, that's white privilege. It's his white privilege saying, "Oh, I have every right to come and poison you because some of you are his friend," and you pat him on the back. You know, I know that some of the relatives, they even make some of these bar owners pallbearers, honorary pallbearers. You know, I just don't get that. I took offense seeing Stuart at my dad's wake. I ain't gonna lie. Standing there with cartons of cigarettes. You know, you want to come and poison the rest of my relatives in any way, shape, or form? You know, I'm sorry. That's just, I take this thing personal for my relatives, for my ancestors too. So when we've been talking about these topics of Whiteclay, the history of, like, even the land issue is really worth fighting for right now, because I heard Frank Lemire say earlier today that he would like to see Nebraska give back the buffer zone, this land, because it's no longer serving its purpose that it was created for. It's no longer just, yeah, give it back, Nebraska. You know, so is there any relatives out there willing to take this on and say, yeah, Nebraska, give it back? You know, I hear there's a camp starting up. Maybe that camp should take it into Whiteclay. It's our land anyway. You know, there's so many things and issues that still are surfacing over this. So, you know, not only do we want to see an end to liquid genocide, you know, from alcohol to oil, it's all liquid genocide. You know, we not only want to see these genocidal tactics end, but also, you know, the sobriety movement. You know, how can we get the sobriety movement going here within our homeland and amongst our Tioshpais and our Tiwahe? And even the Oyate, how can we do this? You know, I would like to have a women's support group or even a sobriety support group and really work for it to be something good and not have people come with their own agendas and their ego bonnets and their ego feathers, all that crap. It's about sobriety. You know, I've been sober for a long time. And it took the death of my mother to really help me see that alcohol is the enemy. And I don't know, Mizakiapi, it's just, I don't see any other way around it. You know, so conditioning throughout the generations has us believing that alcohol is a good thing. You know, and it could bring money to the oyate. But I ask you to think about medicinal marijuana in a business form. Think of it as business. Now, Colorado has made $1 million. I think it's even more. I want to say $1 billion. You know, in taxes and stuff. And they're using those. It's going right back into the schools. So you want to promote alcohol here on the homeland because of money. You need to look at medicinal marijuana in money. But after you choke down that, yes, you can make money off of medicinal marijuana. Now look at the medicinal part that can help your people. There's strands of medicinal marijuana that can help with withdrawals from alcohol, withdrawals from methamphetamine, withdrawals from heroin. There's strands that exist that help with depression, anxiety, and everything. So I'm even learning things I didn't know. So yes, you can over smoke, and yes, it does create laziness amongst teens, but you need to look at how you're raising your teen. Are you just letting them sit around? You know, don't let them just sit around. Tell them to get up and do something. You know, that was a phrase that was used all the time in our house. Do some. Oh, what should we do? Oh, I'm bored. Well, then do something. I don't know what it is. Do something. You know, so a lot of the social problems and ills that we have are because of the Lakota parenting that was stolen with those first batches of 5-year-olds that were kidnapped into boarding schools. The social conduct, the spiritual, emotional, physical, sexual, all those things were non-existent after that day they were taken. I don't even know. I'm just rambling. I just know that everything happens for a reason, Mudakiapi. The good and the bad. And there's been so many generations of bad. It's time we switch that around and start having generations of good. So I want to encourage my relatives here at home and those struggling with addictions in other places. But for my relatives here at home, you know, we're going to get through this. We're Lakotas. We adapt to anything. That's why we were nomadic people. We adapted. So we're going to adapt to sobriety. And there's nothing wrong with that. And these kids, you know, they're our future. That's my baby Wanakcha right there. She's 11. One day she's going to be a mother. And one day she's going to be a grandmother. I don't know. Everyone's slowly walking back this way. We're live.
That's the longest I walked. I walked 2 states just now.
Yeah, we've been going live for a minute here. Cool. We got 43 people. What up? Yeah. Surrey, what's up? Who else? We got Deborah Tobacco. Clara Loafer. Hi, Clara. I love you. Brian Labatt. Devin Parker. Bishop. Yee! Don't forget about me. Greg Darshinu, what up? Jamie Enos. Pam. I can't say that. I'm not gonna try.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's going down all day.
Kim, Kimmy, Miranda, what up? Mohawks in the house. What up? What up?
Bunch of cars going by talking smack.
Were they?
Hey,
Oh yeah,
hey,
let's hear some of those accounts.
So one truck went by with a real loud, like glass packs or whatever, muffler, loud. And when they got right by us, they like punched it real fast, and you hear them hollering out the window, cussing. They're pissed. Probably hanging over.
How?
But that was like only one of like 4 or 5 that did that. Just really rude. And they were all native, all heading back to the res.
Look, they're trying to pick up trash.
Yeah, it's too bad. Okay, let's flip this camera around real quick.
Oh, his puppy.
Aww.
Where? That dog.
Hi, Henya.
Go give
That
him a
last
piece of
one
pizza.
over here?
Should we go give him a piece of pizza? A piece of pizza.
Pizza.
What's up, Leon? Matthew's watching.
Who's Leon?
We were wishing for a drum over there.
Oh yeah, they were wishing for singers down there.
No, was that his dog? See? Yeah, we're trying to scock him. Just kidding.
Davitica's in the house somewhere.
Oh, snap. I just seen a big bat.
Oh, did you?
Mhm.
Oh, I bet that was her parked right here. I didn't even get off. There's some of the homies. We saw the relatives of Wallace Blackout walk by with the memorial picture. So they walked with the group up there.
She touched down.
Oh, did she? Oh, nice. So we have, we also have the victims of Whiteclay. Some of the victims of Whiteclay show up. Even I myself just sitting here, my mother, my father, and my young brother, my little brother, my grandpa Francis Thunderhawk, Brett and Carla. Oh my gosh, we can all throw names out of loved ones that we've lost because of Whiteclay. People say, oh, it's not Whiteclay's fault. Whatever. Come on. No, I ain't even trying to argue with anyone about anything. It's just that the liquid genocide of Whiteclay, Nebraska needs to come to an end. And I see Nebraska trying to clean up their backyard. I was really angry the other day when the announcement was made that they can keep their stores open, or that they were trying to just renew the licenses altogether. That was really disheartening, and it really pissed me off. Damn it. It's just like, you have all these Native Lives Matter, all this stuff, but you know what? Ogallala lives matter. For real, because we were like the fiercest warrior tribe of this continent. And I'll say that proudly forever till the day I die. And I know my history. And we've been brainstorming everything that we could think of about helping the relatives, the Oyate, make it through this process, that this is actually happening, that we don't have to put up with liquid genocide in any form, alcohol to oil. I think all of our eyes are wide open that we don't have to put up with the oppressive actions of others. We don't have to be that way anymore. So talking circles, sobriety movements. You know, if you get all the teenagers in your family, take them for walks, have talks with them, pat them on the back. They need something. You got to remember that the affection was stolen from us, from those first batch of 5-year-olds that were ripped from their parents and put into boarding schools. There were no more pats on the backs. There were no elderly teachings. There were no aunties and uncles to help us get through things. Like, our whole structure of family life was ripped away. Everything. So even kind words of "I love you" or "good to see you," "good morning," don't be afraid to do those things.
Break the cycle.
Break the cycle. That's what it's about. It should be breaking the cycle. So I ain't trying to blame anyone, but yeah, I see these bar owners for the racist people they are. No matter how much they want to say that they're not racist, that they're not. But you chose profit over people for generations. So that shows your true character right there, is the profit over people. Years ago, we've been asking you, Whiteclay, all you owners, I know your little trolls are going to tell you back. You're all going to watch this video. I don't care. I hope you hear my words. You know, because we asked you no more profit over people. That, to me, that shouldn't be hard. Especially if you believe in God. You know, I'm pretty sure Jesus was a poor man, right? And I don't know. We asked you. This time was coming. We asked you. We warned you. We counted coup on you. We broke your locks and doors. We did everything. Now, it's coming to the point where you're finally starting to see that not all whites are like you. Not all whites want to profit over people. So, you know, again, Whiteclay bar owners, liquor store owners, you knew this was coming. You brought this shit on yourself. Anyway, what's up to the water protectors? Getting all fired up over here. I want to go over there.
Get on the bullhorn right here.
Oh yeah, look what I got. Check that out. Anyway, legendary right there. Trying to zoom in there. Let's see what else. All the Matakepi.
Adult diaper sitting on the side.
Gee. Oh my gosh.
There was not poop on the wall, so.
That must be a service Jason provides. Adult diapers.
Since supposedly they take care of everybody.
Help my stomach. Hear that?
Hi, Auntie Jen. What up, Carla? Hi, Susan. Jen Yankton. Weaka Chasing Hog. What's up? Debbie McShane. Hello. Alex. Hey, Alex. Who else we got here? How yeah, what's up? We got Red Warriors watching. Oh!
Oh, snap.
Make me call the fam. Betty. Hi, Betty. Pat Lemire. Hi, Pat. Much love. Jane Dow. Sounds a little sketchy. What up, cuz? Oh, that's not my cuz, but I just saw my cousin's name, so what up, cuz? Evelyn. Hi, Evelyn. Oh, yeah. Clete la Jota. Hey, who named Jason that? You gotta quit giving our names out.
Did he pay for it? I bet he paid.
I bet he paid for that.
There goes Eileen Janice.
We'll probably just stay online for a while till everyone's down there. We got more relatives showing up. Hopefully someone will show up and offer songs. So if we have any drum singers in the area, come on up. We have relatives up here who would probably love to hear some encouragement Lakota songs or something.
These are our
These are our relatives.
our
I didn't have no bloopers, I don't think.
bloopers.
I'm sure I'll hear about it later, though.
Oh, look at that little dog. He chased that little dog down.
So what is this? Oh, people are sharing this video?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no
They
shit.
could share it.
Wow.
And their friends can watch it. So not just your friend.
Oh shit. Not just my friend.
It's a ripple effect.
Ripple effect. I'm trying to... There you
People
go.
are going by just to go by. Like
Just
they're
to
going,
look?
If you notice, they go turn around and see. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
And then they go back by.
So we talked about how this is a historical event for the Ogallala. You know, I just love how us Ogallala just love to make history. So here's something else that's a good suggestion for our relatives here in Ogallala territory by making history by being the first ones to vote in an all-female tribal council. If we have to deal and exist under their political system or whatever, we need to get that matriarchal mentality back in there. Suggestion, anyway.
When I almost kind of looked right over there
Mm-hmm.
to that little blue building right there.
Yeah.
I seen some heads peeking around that corner. It creeped me out.
Go get your relatives.
Oh yes, again we touched on that topic, but I'll say it again, that there's a lot of the naysayers, the negative Nallies, and the smack talkers are saying things like, oh, why don't you, oh, are you gonna clothe them and feed them now? And this person was doing something as they drove by. Let's check it out.
Oh, that's Eileen Janice.
Oh, maybe she was waving. Anyway, so we're saying that this needs to be a Tioshpai concern now. Now, quit, blaming, pointing fingers. Come up here to Whiteclay and get your relative. Let me turn that on. Come to Whiteclay and get your relative. It's no one else's responsibility. At the end of it all is come get your relative. This is a Tioshpai concern now. We need to quit leaving our concerns up to a program, up to a council, up to a committee. It's a Tioshpai concern. And if you don't have an active operating Tioshpai, create one within your household. The oldest woman, the oldest man, the middle age, the younger ones. So that's like with a lot of the work we've been doing, like, oh, why don't you have those Tokala come pick our trash? Like, hey, how many able-bodied young people do you have in your household? Have them pick your trash. There's just, people talk about lazy teenagers, lazy people, but you condone that when you just let them be lazy. Hi, Tanya. What up, Newsome? So, that reminds me, I have been asked about camps, if I knew of any camps opening up here around Oglala territory. And just today we found out that there could be a camp emerging here to monitor the activity of Whiteclay, because today was officially again their last day to sell alcohol. But this morning the sheriff came into town and told everyone to shut it down because it's Sunday. You know, that's just over 100 years too late. So anyway, so really today was supposed to be their last day of selling alcohol. So they can't. Come tomorrow, business hours, these bars should not be open. So what we're thinking now is that I'm sure they've all had full deliveries all week, and now we need monitors to make sure there's no illegal beer sales happening now that they're supposed to remain closed. And basically security, you know, I mean, if this camp is going to come up, I'm hoping that they would monitor the stores and even think about, I don't even know if I should be doing this. And I'm live. Holy crap. I don't know shit about no camp in Whiteclay for nothing. For real. Allegedly, a camp on that side of Whiteclay would be perfect. Allegedly.
Scratch that. Rewind.
Here, let's watch the action.
The weather's beautiful, by the way.
Hey, about what? 20 minutes, 30 minutes into this. Yes, I know they're gonna just try to bootleg it, but see, that also turns into a Tioshpai and a community issue. Police your communities. Everyone should be putting together a community watch team. And with that community watch team should come with monitoring and watching and checking any criminal activity, even strangers. That leads to something else. About holding our relatives accountable. Trying to get back into the Tioshpai mentality of things. Is that if you have outsiders here, if you are an Ogallala Lakota family and you bring in visitors from the outside here, your ass is responsible for their conduct. So if you brought your white homie here and your white homie is acting up, going around drunk, effing around, then you need to check your homie. If you have a black homie, a Mexican homie, whatever, a green homie, I don't care. But if that person is here not in a good way, you're responsible for your guests' conduct. That's something else we need to take back into our community's hands, is checking the strangers. Like, I don't care. I'm so proud and so grounded in who I am. If I see strangers in the community, I will ask them, who are you? What are you doing here? And who do you know? Because if they're here committing crimes, it goes back to that Lakota family who allowed them here in the first place. So which could go back to our border checkpoints. You know, we should want to know who's coming into our homeland. What are they bringing in here? What are they taking out of here? You know, we really need to think of ourselves as something to protect. For real. Let's see. What else is conversation starters, it says. Oh, okay.
or whatever. Looks like people are leaving.
Should we get on the road then? Well, we're gonna
Okay.
go get petrol and head home.
Okay. What do we need to do? Anything else for today? Just it? Edit videos or nothing? Anything?
Maybe we should. What you doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow, Monday.
Are you gonna
Oh,
go to that
Pia
meeting
has
in the morning?
court. What meeting?
With the Chinese president.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
In the morning?
Yep. Is Auntie going?
I don't know. She just told me to remind my dad.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, if Uncle's going, then I'll go. Be his backup.
I'll try to go too. If I can wake up.
All right then. Hi Doris. How are you?
I'll call you then.
All right.
If you see shit, tell her home.
All right then. Bye, Mata.
Bye!
Bye! Why? We're not going to the house anytime?
Oh shoot, I need to plug in. Get me that charger. Hurry up. Step over there. Okay. People are starting to, well, no, they're still gathered down there. Someone just went by recording us. So I record it back. Again, we're up here in Whiteclay, Nebraska. I'm on this side of the border, on the res side. We have relatives down there in front of Arrowhead Inn. There was a press conference there, and quite a few people gathered there. We had some family members of victims of Whiteclay. The Wallace Blackout family was in attendance. They carried in a picture of their loved one, you know, to always acknowledge that there still has been no justice for Wally and Ron. All the other deaths, you know, Sherry Wounded Foot, that still, from what I understand, is unsolved. Still no justice for that. For the countless missing and murdered, raped Indigenous women here, there's still no justice for them. For our young brothers being abused and beaten down, there's still no justice for them. So a lot of people want to focus on the social service aspect of these things, you know, but what about the social injustices of it all? You know, like, we're a dry reservation, but for some reason Nebraska wants to put these 4 liquor stores right on our border. You know, I don't know, they say they have every right to sell wherever, but why would they? I don't even want to get into that. It just pisses me off when they try to claim humanity and being good humans when really it's just profit over people. So of course, just, you know, I'm sure that you all know that my opinion is very one-sided for my nation, the Oglala Lakota. We're one of the 1 or 2 last dry reservations, maybe even the last one, that refused to sell alcohol within our boundaries. And that's something I've always been proud of. Because our ancestors always knew that alcohol was the enemy. They knew a long time ago that it wasn't any good for our people. And Whiteclay is just proof, you know. It's all about profit over people, you know. In my mind, even throughout this whole process, these years, I always thought that Stuart would be the one to say, okay, I'm going to change my business. I'm going to open up whatever. I always thought he would have been the first one, just because, I guess, of the friendly demeanor that I've always seen him, because he was friends with my dad. And every time my dad would go into his store, Stuart would give me a sucker. You know, I think back about all those times now, and how then I didn't know that Stuart was really contributing to my father's demise. You know, I love my dad. I love him so much. I miss him all the time. And my mom and my little brother. We've all lost siblings and parents and relatives to this hellhole, this genocidal hole. I'll never see it any other way. So you responsible drinkers and you happy Americans, you know, I don't know what to say for you. Maybe, fat taker, maybe the white man has succeeded by turning you and by converting your bloodline. So I feel sorry. I feel afraid for your grandchildren, because this is a historical major thing, you know. So to promote alcoholism and living with it just don't seem right. And you know, the diversity of tactics that was used in Whiteclay is a beautiful thing. You know, we've had Nebraskans attacking it, facing it, bringing it to light on their end. We're doing the same. We've been doing the same on our end. There's been counting of coup happened here. There's been nonviolent direct actions in the form of marches, protests, and we've also had direct actions happen here. You know, and everybody did their part. Legal, all the legal ways, everything. So for me, I feel like Whiteclay should be a shining example of what a respect for diversity of tactics can accomplish. And by that I mean all these tactics that we use, the NVDA, the DA, the legal, even the spiritual, it has all worked. So it's like, it's not even anything personal to anybody. It ain't even about you. Lower your proud, egotistical heads and look at your children, those babies around you. They're the ones that this is about. That's what it's about. This gentleman walking right here is the attorney who helped in all this. He's a Nebraskan. He comes from Nebraska. So, you know, like I say, diversity of tactics. This is just a shining example that a diversity of tactics can be successful when used properly. And no one is sticking their nose in anyone else's tactic. But communication to where we all know where our noses are at. Let's see. Yeah, so we had victims from Whiteclay show up. We have the gentleman here who's thinking about starting a camp. I believe the first day is on the 5th. I myself would like to see someone monitoring from tomorrow on, like daily, hourly, like monitor, because from what I understand is these liquor stores have had their stocks filled, but now that they're sitting on all this beer, and now what? You know, so I'm thinking they're going to have to try to get rid of it somehow. I don't know, just, and for those of you who have relatives that live up here, come get your relative. You know, don't expect help to come for them to come from Nebraska, South Dakota, or from the Oglala Sioux tribe. This has to become a Teoshpai issue. I keep saying Teoshpai, and I want to push the Tioshpai mentality, because one of the main things that colonization has brought for us is the I and the me mentality, that the individualism, you know, that was what was implemented when they stole those first batch of 5-year-olds. And it's just implementing it back, the mentality that we are all responsible for our relatives. So that even goes out to the shit that's happening out into the communities. Like, if you got a nephew who's effing around on horseback, busting out windows, hey, get the older men in that Tioshpai and check him. If you got a young woman going around drunk and raising hell and you know, bringing shame on herself into the family, go check her. If you got an uncle bootlegging, go check him. If you got an uncle perving, check him. We can't leave those things into the hands of any program of any white man. It needs to come from us. It's the Tioshpai mentality that they ripped from us that caused the most damage. So break cycles, Medakyapi. That's it. Just break cycles. I don't know. Just break cycles. Damn. It's just... It shouldn't be too hard to turn the dysfunction around. Like, for myself, in my own family, I know that the trauma that my mother suffered in boarding school was severe. And same with her grandmother. You know, it began somewhere. So it's all about breaking cycles. You know, it's not about anything personal to anyone. Hold on, we got another one. Someone coming in. What's up, Dan?
Nothing much. Just I was going up to buy a cigarette, and then I didn't even notice what was going on.
Say hello. Yeah. Oh, so you didn't know all the bar stores were closed?
Yeah, I knew they were supposed to close today.
Yeah. No, tomorrow is their tomorrow's the official first day. So today would have been their last day of selling, but they said Robin showed up this morning and told them all to shut down because it was Sunday.
Terry Robbins?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, whoever the sheriff is now.
Yeah, that's on Terry Robbins. That one time I was up here, I asked him, I said, what, who gave you permission to I said, who authorized you to have jurisdiction on treaty land? Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I said, shit, what the hell I know? I said, shit, you're the one that knows what you're talking about. I said, shit, you probably don't even know your Constitution. He said, I do. Why? I said, Article 6. He said, what's that? I said, treaties are the supreme law of the land. He said, I know it is. I said, go back and read your book. You don't know a fucking thing. He said, do you want to get arrested? I put my hands out like this. I said, that's what I'm here for. And then he said, and he just stopped away. And then a couple of weeks later, he must have went back and read his Constitution, because a couple of weeks later, I was in Whiteclay grocery. He asked me when I was going to be running for president. I said, president why? He said, you're allowed to see crowd. I said, I'm not. He said, like that. Shit, if I did that, I have to become crooked and corrupt like the rest of them. That's why.
We have people walking out now that went down with the press conference group.
Is this on Julie's ride or what?
Huh?
Who's
There
riding
goes
this
my
one?
son. Bearson. Better be sober. What? Oh no, this is my ride.
Oh, it looks something like
Jules. Yeah, she has a Suburban too. I think it's a Suburban, I'm not sure.
No, it's a Chevy.
Yeah, hers is a Suburban.
That
Last
one
time I
that's
knew
right
she
up
was
to that
in,
purple one,
Uh-huh.
that's kind of...
Salt Lake.
Huh?
Last time I knew she's in Salt Lake.
Oh yeah. Mama's on the move out there somewhere. She's not too far away.
have a meeting tomorrow at Scott Weston's office.
Uh-huh.
Up here. Frank and Brian.
Oh, wow.
So we'll go check that out.
Yeah, I'll probably go too.
Got chairs from work. I didn't even know this was going on. If I didn't come to buy a pack of cigarettes, then I wouldn't know knew about it.
Yeah, there's a press conference that was supposed to happen at 4 p.m. So everyone met here and they walked in and held the press conference down there.
Yeah, I figured something was going on because there's a bunch of cars parked.
Yeah.
What am I missing out on now?
And me sitting at the res line because I can't go into Whiteclay.
Then they wanted me to talk, but I ain't even saying that. No, I need to come and talk to somebody. Listen. It all sounded good over there.
Oh, that's good. Hi,
Let's get
cousin. Hey, Pat.
Where this here Scott Weston stands on this issue.
Oh, I hear he's already making his own bar. No, I was just kidding. I didn't hear that. That's not true. Don't no one spread that. I didn't say
I
it.
heard that they're going to try to legalize it.
Oh, yeah. From what I understand, they're either grooming us for legalization of alcohol or martial law. We shall see.
I'll be dead set against it again as usual.
Oh, yeah. There's Frank right there. Frank Lemire. Yes, one extra. Martial law? We'll talk about that later, okay?
So they're supposed to be setting up a camp again right here.
Yeah, that's what we were hearing. I know. Frank is in the black and red, and the other one is Jorge from Alcohol Justice.
Must have parked his vehicle around this way.
Yeah, they did. They all parked right here.
I wanted to see him. So
Okay, we'll see you. Okay, so it looks like things are wrapping up here for the press conference for this little gathering. We got some of the homies still down there doing a walkthrough. Again, I think we need, I don't know what we need. We need people to break the dysfunctions, break the cycles. Don't be afraid. The worst thing that can happen is your life will get better. Or it'll stay miserable and shitty the way it is now. So I hope that the relatives are the ones that are so upset about this happening. I hope that you can really look past yourselves and think about your unborn grandchildren. Or if you already have grandchildren, think about them and their grandchildren. Because one day you're going to be dead and gone. You're not going to be here. You're not. You're not going to be here. And so when that day comes, what about your grandkids? Who's going to stick up for them? Who's going to make sure that no one's bringing harm to them or their community? I mean, again, my baby, why not just say hi? She's only 11. She's only 11. That's my baby. And I'm already scared for the day to come where she has to exist in this world without me. I already am. I'm already afraid for that because there's so much colonization and so much I and me mentality out there that people don't even want to see past themselves to lower their ego heads and look at their children, the smaller people around them. And all of us from home, we've all lost a loved one, whether it was a blood relative, a distant relative, or even a best friend, an ex-boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is, we've all lost someone from the effects of Whiteclay. And if you didn't lose someone, you're suffering yourself with alcohol-induced diabetes. You're suffering with alcoholism, cirrhosis of the liver. You know, you could be losing limbs. You could be losing your eyesight. You could be yellow. You could be turning colors. You could just be at the end of your days. And I just don't want to go out like that. I don't want to be another statistic. I remember something Arlette Loudhawk always said was, don't die a statistic. Don't be a scratch on the... don't be a scratch of the Grim Reaper when he's marking one for their side. Don't be one of those. Do not be one of those. Don't be a statistic. What does she say? Be an untold story. Tell your story. Have a legacy that doesn't involve dying a statistic that they created for us. Outlive their lifespan expectation of us. No one should be trying to tell us how far we could live. You know, colonization has some of us so jacked up that maybe we do believe that we have no life after these life expectancies put on us. I refuse to be one of those. Damn it. It's about breaking cycles. You know, even if you are a proud, happy drinker, so be it. Be that. Be it. Own it. You already are. But remember that we don't want it here. There's so many of us that don't want it here. If you want it so much, we ask you, pack your homes. Go be Americans out there where you can drink every day of your life, where you can just be as jacked up and twisted and individuals. Go be that out there. But here we want to save, we want to bring back a mentality of Tioshpai, of unconditional love, of undysfunctional life. What's wrong with wanting to be Lakota and to live? There shouldn't be anything wrong with that. I don't know, just, I wish people would just open their eyes faster and sooner to what's going on around us. Because I know if the lights were to go out tomorrow, only the strong will survive. Those of you that are so dependent on the store and your refrigerator, you're the first to go. For real. So a part of me does wish that Unchi Maka will shake her back. Shake her shawl clean of the filth that's gathered. And only the strong will survive. No more alcohol, no more drugs. Just living. And to me that sounds good. So everyone will talk shit and shoot arrows, but go for it. Keep doing it. You've been doing it, and we're going to keep doing what we're doing, because the messaging ain't about your twisted mentality. It's about the mentality of your young ones that you haven't twisted up so much yet. So I don't know what else to say, Madakiopi. For real, everything that I've ever done, everything that a lot of us, the things that a lot of us do in our actions today has nothing to do with the I and me mentality. It's the us and we. Because there's going to come a day when none of us are here anymore. And then what? Who's going to stand up for our babies then? If we don't pass on this mentality now. So, for the record, I'm not in Whiteclay again. For the record, the liquid genocide of Whiteclay, Nebraska must end. For the record, we all need to come and get our relatives out of this town. This is not a town. I take those words back. Just be strong out there, Medakiopi. Remember, it's about breaking cycles in today's world. We come from great warrior people, the fiercest warrior nation on this continent. And a sober Indian is a dangerous Indian. A sober Ogallala is a dangerous Ogallala. So much love to my relatives out there and to those struggling with addiction, one day at a time. Make it through this day. And I encourage you to be strong and make it through tomorrow and the next day. I know within sobriety movements they say one day at a time. But I believe as spiritually grounded people to the earth that we could take on more than just one day at a time. Especially if we're using our experiences and our stories to help others. Myself, I think I want to start thinking of a way to create a support group for sobriety. And I've been brainstorming on that for years. So to actually put something into work, into action, and make it a reality is something else. So I guess just take this as a first call out that if anyone else is interested in having support groups for our sobriety meetings, I don't know, like I'm saying, help me out in brainstorming with these things. But I think everything needs to be done in the mentality of us and we. This is about breaking cycles of dysfunction also, and sobriety is a really big important part of this. And so those of my relatives who come across this video and you're angry about Whiteclay, after you're done with your anger, I know you'll sit down and you'll process why you're so angry. And hopefully you'll see that it has nothing to do with you. Absolutely nothing to do with you at all. Well, no, I take that back. Damn it, it does. It does have everything to do with you, because even though you're dysfunctional relatives, I still love you, because at one time I was a dysfunctional relative and my family still loved me. They told me that that wasn't my way, that I shouldn't be doing that, and that they didn't fight in Wounded Knee for me to be a drunken drunk. My grandma used to say things like, if you're going to be drinking, quit using my name. Because my middle name is Sarah and my grandmother's name is Sarah. So she used to get mad at me. If you're going to be drinking, quit using my name. Don't tell nobody you're a Thunderhawk if you're just going to be drunk all over. So, remember, if you don't say it to your relatives, nobody else will. No one loves them enough to tell them these things like you do, like I do. Nobody loves us more than us. So I ask for us to heal us. Leave them out of it. Leave Fat Taker completely out of this. Taking our healing, our spirituality, our sobriety, our activism, our organization, everything needs to stay grassroots and out of our IRA, BIA, whatever, all that. There's still that inner Lakota in some of you most corrupted, twisted ones. So I ask that you grab it and start now. Start pushing sobriety in your homes. But before you could do that, you have to do it with yourself. So yes, I have addressed sobriety with myself. Yes, I do stress sobriety with my children. Anyone who knows me knows that I will chase my daughter around. Anyone, my son, I try to encourage him all the time. Walk your talk. That's all I'm going to say. Much love, Madaki LP. I'm ending this now, and I will send my voice for every Lakota bloodline. Much to you.